Hey, what's up YouTube? Xeptron here, and today we're going to go through all the Season 14 support item changes, starting from the starting items and then comparing the new items versus the old items. Which one's better, who will it buy, which champions, and what kind. So let's go straight into it. But before we do, I want to give a massive shout out to SpiderX on Twitter, or X in other words, and fantastic guy. He always leaking all these changes and everything and updating people. So I'm just gonna go through all these changes right now and we're gonna talk through it. So let's start off with the first starting items on support. So instead of running the Spell Thief's Edge or Relic Shield or anything like that nowadays, we will have one singular item combined together. It's gonna be called World Atlas, which gives you 3 gold per 10 seconds, 25% base health in mana regen, and the 30 health. So pretty weak-ish item, but long story short, all you have to do is the same thing as usual. Get 500 gold, and then it will upgrade into a Runic Compass. You get 3 charges per 18 seconds, so you can always get some money, and there's multiple ways how you can get the money. So either it is by damaging abilities and attack against the champions or buildings, you'll get some gold from that. So if you are just damaging, poking enemy teams or hitting the turret, you'll get gold, or last hitting a minion will also get you the gold. So this is basically all support items into one singular item, so no other support items as a starter except this World Atlas. And then you will basically transform into Runic Compass once you hit the 500 gold threshold. It's gonna instantly double your base health regen from 25%, 25, and 30 health. You go 100 health, 50% base mana, 50% health, and 5 gold per 10 seconds. So this is an improvement, definitely, of course, in that item. So now you have your second quest, which is getting 1,000 gold. So now you can actually start warding. You get up to 3 stealth wards, and of course it will refill once you visit the shop, just like any other item right now. And right now you will get a little bit more gold. You'll get 28 gold per minion slain when you kill a minion. And obviously you will get more gold if you are hitting damaging abilities or attacks against the champions and buildings. You'll get even more. So you'll get, again, 18 seconds, 3 charges, more or less the same as the previous item. It's just that you'll get a little bit faster up to that 1,000 gold. And then once you reach the 1,000 gold, this is where the Season 14 starts to kick in. It's called Bounty of Worlds. This is basically the finished off item. Nothing really changes here except... Well, actually, no, nothing really changed here. It's the same stats, 5 gold, 50% base mana, health regen, and 100 health. And then this is where the fun begins. Instead of 3 wards, you also get 4 now. So 4 stealth wards in this item. But once you get this Bounty of Worlds, you don't even have to go to recall to your base. You can upgrade it into one of these multiple choices. You have a Bitboss Knuckles, Bulwark of Ascend, Dreammaker, Zaz'Zak Realmspike, and Solstice Sleigh. So we're gonna go through all these items one by one. What did they do? So we have the Celestial Opposition first, which gives you 75% health regen, 75% mana regen, and 200 health. So instantly doubling the health, a little bit more mana regen and everything. Gold per 10 seconds still remains the same. So keep in mind, all these stats are gonna be on all the upgraded support items, every single one of them. So Blessing of the Mountain is the effect you're gonna get once you upgrade this item into. So you will be blessed, and to reduce incoming champion damage, you will be lingering for 2 seconds after taking a damage from a champion. So when the shield breaks, it unleashes a shockwave around you that slows down nearby enemies by 50% for 1.5 seconds. So basically, you will be taking reduced damage, and you'll be slowing them down. So this is like a really good support item for champions like Leona. Somebody who goes like all in there. Alistar, I would say. Leona. Potentially maybe even Braum or something, right? So anyone who can goes in, maybe like a Thresh as well. Anyone who's going in and being the tank, right? So if you want to, you can technically play also a Malphite support if you wish. Why not? And this would be a pretty good item because you can slow them down, and maybe because of this you don't have to go glacial anymore, maybe, so you'll be able to go aftershock, so become tankier, and then the slow will apply and everything. So this is literally for the tanks. We have Solstice Sleigh. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the names here. Same, again, like I said, same amount of base on health region. The stats are the same. It's just the effect is a little bit different. So it's called Going Sledding. Really interesting name. Slowing or immobilizing an enemy champion restores 120 health and grants 90 movement speed for 4 seconds to you and a nearby ally with the lowest health. I've kind of been really, when I read this one, I couldn't really understand for which champion could this be. What kind of champions would it go? But I've seen some people mentioning Nautilus. So when you are slowing or immobilizing, of course, you just hook them or something. So it gives you movement speed. So you can maybe go auto-attack someone else to again them, to slow them down and stuff like that, right? So it could be definitely one of the Nautilus maybe ways of playing. Maybe someone else, maybe you can figure out some other champions. I could see maybe Thresh as well getting this one in. Maybe like a Morgana or something. But I don't know. I'm really kind of clueless about this item just yet. But I've heard that Nautilus could be a pretty good potential here. We have Bloodsong, the next upgradable item. This is for the attack damage lovers, right? For those who like Bike, Senna, Ash support, anything else. So basically, using an ability, your next attack is enchanted with additional physical damage on hit. And if the target is the champion, you will apply Exposed Weakness, which increases the damage they take for 6 seconds. So basically, you will just do more damage. So this is literally the AD support items dream, right? Just to pick this one up and just go in and ruin everyone's day by just doing a lot more damage in support role, you know, in AD. Then we have a Dream Maker. This is basically a fantastic item for enchanters. So basically you will get blue Dream Bubble and a purple Dream Bubble. For every 8 seconds, you'll get these 2 bubbles. And healing and shielding another ally blows both Dream Bubbles to them. So all those both bubbles goes to your AD carry, for example, and empowers them for 3 seconds. So the blue bubble reduces 140 incoming damage on the next hit. So it'll tank a little bit more. And purple will grant 90 bonus magic damage on the next hit. So this is definitely something as you heal and shield someone, so like a Janna, Sona, Seraphine, Lulu, Nami, something like that, right? This is really good item for the enchanters, because that's the easiest way, of course, how to shield and heal. So you can basically reduce the incoming damage, then of course 90 bonus magic damage. Pretty decent, you know, so it gives you a little bit of damage, a little protection. Great item for enchanters. And then we have the Zaz'Zak's Realmspike, where you have a Void Explosion, right, for 9 seconds. Dealing ability damage to a champion causes an explosion at their current location. That damages the target and a nearby enemies, dealing 50 plus 3% of the max health damage, capped at 300 against the monsters. So this is basically if you are playing like a Vel'Koz support, Xerath support, so this is all the AP items. Brand support, you know, you'll be doing basically more magic damage. So this is pretty good if you want to play a poke champion in support role. This is the itemization you want to go to. And keep in mind, all these items that I just mentioned, you can upgrade them without even leaving the base. As soon as you get Bounty of Worlds, there's going to be a little tooltip on the top of the item where you just click on it and it will upgrade it instantly for free. So you just get one of this and that is it. You keep it for the rest of the game, and the item upgrade, like I said, is for free. And now let's join it and jump into the itemizations to compare them between the old and the new ones. So on the right of my screen, you can see the Ardent Censer new item, and on the left of the scene, you can see the Season 13 item. So Season 14 versus the Season 13. So if you're looking at the current item of the Ardent Censer, you can see already some of the improvements that you will see. You'll see 50 ability power instead of 35, so that's an increase. Health and shield power stays the same, while mana regen gets increased and movement speed also increased. So Ardent Censer already feels like definitely a buff, but then if you read what it kind of gives, it gives you for 6 seconds, both of you, so healing or shielding an ally, enchants you both for 6 seconds, granting 25% attack speed and 20 magic on hit. Right now, what it gives you is granting your attacks 20% attack speed and 15 magic damage on hit. So that's more magic damage and more attack speed right now, so definitely more worth. You can just go and attack a lot faster. Ardent Censer definitely feels like a nice itemization buff for the enchanters. So definitely really good on such as like a Lulu or a Janna or something about those lines, you know, just like the old Ardent Censer used to be, kind of where it was super strong. So I'm kind of sort of excited maybe for the Enchanter players here to get Ardent Censer going off again. So we'll see how it's gonna turn out to be a bit later. So now we have Echoes of Helia. There's a lot of things you can go through with Echoes of Helia here, but not a lot of people have been really buying this item. Not in solo queue, but I've seen a lot of people kind of try to avoid this item. But as you can see, also ability power increased, the health stays the same, ability heist more, and mana regen is also the same. So the big difference is here that instead of collecting the soul shards, which you currently can get only maximum of 2 stacks, then which heals 20 to 80 health, and gives you the 30 to 180 magic damage. Instead of that, you'll get stacked 20 health and 55 magic damage per shard, and you can get up to maximum of 3 shards instead of 2. So that is increased shards, but then again, I don't really feel like the 20 health restorer, it feels like nothing really, and up to 3 stacks, so what is that? You can maybe heal up to like 60 health or something. It doesn't really do anything. So I feel Echoes of Helia kind of like a dead item here. I'm not really liking the changes here. Doesn't really feel like it's going to be healing that much, and I don't think it's really worth buying it, but I might be completely wrong. So if you have any comments on this, you can feel free to put down in the comment section below. Now we have Imperial Mandate. Imperial Mandate, 5 ability power increase compared to the other one, and 25% more mana regen, so definitely a little bit higher here. And then you can see how it is slightly changed. So here, abilities that slows or immobilize the champion deals 40 magic bonus damage and marks them for 4 seconds. Ally champions damage detonates the mark, dealing additional magic damage and grants you both movement speed for 2 seconds. But instead of that, your new item will, so this one will go for 9 seconds per enemy champion. So it will enemy champion marks them for 5 seconds instead of 4 seconds. It's increased to 5 seconds. Ally champion damages detonates the mark, dealing magic damage equals to 12% of the current health and granting you both 25% movement speed. So this feel like Imperial Mandate, Ally Burst definitely could be pretty good here as well. You know, it sounds like a pretty good item as well. We'll see how it's gonna be and what it's gonna change, because I don't really buy it that often, Imperial Mandate. I don't really buy it whenever I play Nami, so I'm not really that much of an expert on this item whatsoever. But now to Knight's Vow. We're looking at Knight's Vow. There's a tiny bit of changes between the two. Is that it has a little bit less health now by 50 health. So instead of 350, you get 300. You get increased armor though, but you still lose your base health regen, which is kind of upsetting. But everything else seems to be staying the same. The 10% damage, the take, you heal for 10%, the 30% if you have less than 30% of health damage reductions increase to 20%. So everything is still the same as an item, well, except these tiny bit of changes here. So increased armor, it's just health regen is not there. But what it still changed though is that it changes the build path and how you're building these items. So you go Kindle Gem into the armor here, and then you finish it off, rather than any of these 2 items that you see here. So technically it still is the same cost, but itemization is tiny bit different. And this item for 250 gold is the one of the new items, which is called a glowing moat. A glowing moat, it goes for 250 gold. It's only gives you 5 ability haste, and it builds into various items in the season 14. Moving on to the next item, which is Locket of Iron Solari. Very tiny bit of changes here. So again, 200 health is still there, 30 armor, 30 magic resistance is there. Instead of 20 ability haste, now you will get 10. So you still get the shield, 200 to 360, the same as per usual. The only thing is that changes is, once again, the build path, how you're going to build it. Again, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, so it's going to be 100 gold cheaper. So you'll have some armor, Kindle Gem, and MR into the Locket. Rather than a little bit of armor here into MR and then this, right? So you'll get some probably from Kindle Gem, also some ability haste there early on and into building this just to get the Locket going. And now we have Mikael's blessing item, where 250 health still remains the same, 100% base mana regen still the same. Instead of 15% heal and shield power, you get a bit less, you get 12%, but you do get 15 ability haste, and now you have 120 seconds again cooldown on, so removing all current control debuffs except knockups and suppression from an allied champion and restore 100 to 250 health. So just the same as it used to be. So nothing really changes there much here, except that you know, the heal and shield power is a bit less, and ability haste is given now to the item. But the build path, as long as I know, still remains the same. No information about that one. And now talking about the Moonstone Renewer, tiny bit of changes. You only lose 5 AP for the item, but you still get increased 50 health, and you do get a 25% more base mana regen, so 125 instead of the 100. While the Starlit Grace still is a little bit increased here, so you heal 40% or shielding 45 of the original amount instead of 35 to 40. And if there's no nearby allies, your heal is 30 or shield 35 of the original amounts, so a little increase there as well. So that is a little bit of a buff to Moonstone. Although it's going to be a little bit cheaper here, 2200 instead of 2300. The build path is pretty much kind of the same. It's just the itemization here is a little bit different. You'll have the new items, you have to buy the new item here, and the tree kind of still completes into the Moonstone. So tiny bit of a change here. Then we have the redemption changes. Redemption still heals the same way, 200 to 400 health, 90-second cooldown. Nothing really changes there. The only thing is that does change is a little bit of health less. So you have instead of 250, you get 200 health now. And 100% base mana regen still remains the same. 15% heal and shield power remains the same. The only things that you do get extra is ability haste extra from redemption. So that is pretty nice, extra ability haste, of course. So definitely maybe a good item for those heal and shielding champions, such as like Anami maybe, or like Janna, Lulu, whoever you build it on, you know, to get that extra ability haste. And now the Shurelya changes. A little bit of changes here and there. I mean, it is 20 AP more. So instead of 35, you'll get 55. You get 5 less ability haste, so 15 instead of 20. You get 25% increased base mana regen. You get 8% movement speed, which is pretty nice, but you do lose the health for a trade. So it's a little bit squishier sort of item, but it is pretty simple. You activate it 30% movement speed for 4 seconds, just like you do it now. The only thing is, of course, the mythic passive is going to be gone because the mythic items are going to be gone as well. So that is the kind of like the thing that's going to be changing here, as well as the build path a little bit as well. So you get the mirror, which is built by the new item, and the other two here, as well as the wisps here. So you combine it together, so it's going to be 100 gold cheaper, it seems, 2200 instead of 2300, but it will still do the same thing, except that it's going to be less tankier, but it's going to be a little bit more movement speed for that. Staff of Flowing Water is the next item here. It has 5 AP increase from 35 to 40. Heal and shield power still remains the same. Base mana regen is definitely increased from 75 all the way to 125, which is pretty big. And instead of giving you 5% movement speed, it will give you 15 ability haste. So again, more ability haste there. And healing or shielding an ally grants you both 40 ability power and 10% movement speed for 3 seconds. So here it gives you ability haste for 4 seconds, but here for 3 seconds give you the movement speed. So instead of getting the base movement speed on the item, you kind of like swap it around. So movement speed and haste, you kind of switch it around a little bit there, right? So instead of 30 to 45 ability power, but you get 40 ability power right away. So this is a pretty good item. For example, if you want to shield this, I give extra AP for like a Karthus maybe as your AD carry or something, or your mid laner Ari is going to go and assassinate someone. You go heal them, they get 40 AP movement speed as well for 3 seconds. Pretty worth for assassins for sure, just to get in there, quickly assassinate someone to get out. So pretty big buff as well from the singular item. And now, one of my favorite changes of Season 14 is the Zeke's change. I haven't bought this item in such a long time because I feel like it is just not as useful as it used to be. So I'm really, really happy the old Zeke's is coming back. And for those maybe who recently joined the league, they will not know, but for those old players, definitely will also be happy, I believe. So if you look at the itemization, of course, health and mana still remains the same. Armor a little bit less and increased ability haste there. but what we get as for trade. So casting your ultimate summons a storm around you for 5 entire seconds, dealing 50 magic damage per second and slows enemy down by 30%. So this is literally a really good item for supports. Let's say, I remember I used to buy it on Thresh. You put on your ultimate, it slows enemy down. Your box slows them down as well, especially. Or like if you miss Leona ult, for example, you slowed them, plus extra slow there. It is a wonderful item if you're playing a tank as well. Tank engage. This is a great item for that as well for Zeke. Build path is going to be a little bit changed here. So a lot of CDR, well, cooldown reduction or ability haste right away from these two, I guess. And then this one as well. So same costs, but the item is going to be a little bit different here. And it's going to be the old Zeke's, which I loved back in the day. And this is it. Season 14 is right around the corner in a couple of months away from now. I cannot wait to see these items in the game and try them out myself. So if you found this video useful, please like the video. You can subscribe to my channel because I'll be posting a lot of YouTube content on supports. And if you want to learn more about the support, more than welcome. You have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat or any comments over there in the comment section, or just go to my twitch.tv/Xeptron, go to my live streams and ask me some questions about it. I'm all open, all ears for you if you want to learn some more support. But that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on next videos. Peace.